Billionaire left a $0 tip. What the single mom waitress found under his plate changed everything. The dinner rush had finally begun. Every table inside Maple Street Diner was occupied. Plates clattered, coffee steamed, and exhausted waitresses hurried from one customer to another with tired smiles. Among them was Emily Carter, a 32-year-old single mother who had mastered the art of hiding heartbreak behind kindness. She worked 12-hour shifts 6 days a week. Every dollar she earned went toward rent, groceries, and her 8-year-old son, Noah. Noah had been diagnosed with a rare heart condition when he was only 4 years old. The surgery that could completely fix it cost more money than Emily could imagine. Insurance covered only a fraction. Every night she counted tips at her tiny kitchen table while Noah slept, wondering how many more years it would take before she could finally afford the operation. Still, she never complained. Her customers never knew the woman pouring their coffee had skipped dinner so her son could have seconds. That rainy Thursday evening, the diner door opened. Silence seemed to follow the man inside. He wore a perfectly tailored charcoal suit. His expensive watch reflected the warm restaurant lights. 2 bodyguards remained outside. Everyone looked. Emily didn't. She simply grabbed a menu. "Good evening, sir. Table for 1. The man nodded. "Window seat." His voice was calm, controlled. He sat without another word. Emily poured him coffee. "What can I get started for you?" He barely glanced at the menu. "Steak, medium rare, mashed potatoes, black coffee. No appetizer. No. Dessert. No." She smiled politely. "I'll have your order right out." As she walked away, another waitress whispered, "That's Daniel Harrison." Emily blinked. "The billionaire. The one who owns Harrison Technologies." Emily shrugged. So, he's worth billions." Emily simply laughed. "Then hopefully he'll enjoy his steak." Throughout dinner Daniel barely touched his phone. Instead, he watched. Not just Emily. Everyone. He noticed how she greeted elderly customers by name. How she quietly replaced a child's spilled drink without charging the parents. How she carried extra bread to an old veteran eating alone. She never expected applause. She simply cared. When another waitress complained about difficult customers, Emily smiled. "They're probably having a harder day than we are." Daniel heard every word. Near closing time, he finished his meal. Emily placed the check on the table. "Whenever you're ready." He looked at it. $48. He quietly placed his credit card inside. A minute later, the receipt returned. Emily thanked him warmly. "Have a wonderful evening." He stood, buttoned his jacket, walked toward the door, never looked back. Emily picked up the receipt. Tip, $0. She stared, not because she expected a fortune, but because she'd spent nearly an hour making sure everything had been perfect. One of the cooks frowned. The billionaire couldn't even leave $5. Another waitress rolled her eyes. "Rich people." Emily folded the receipt. "It's okay." She forced a smile. Maybe something happened. She picked up the heavy dinner plate. Something underneath caught her eye. A thick white envelope. Her name was written across it. Emily. She looked toward the door. Daniel's black car had already disappeared into the rain. Confused, she opened the envelope. Inside, there was no cash, only a handwritten note. It read, "The tip isn't for tonight's service. It's for the person you were when nobody is watching." Emily frowned. There was something else inside. A business card. Daniel Harrison, Chairman and CEO. On the back, one sentence. "Come to my office tomorrow at 9 a.m. Bring this letter." Nothing more. The entire staff gathered around. What does it mean? Maybe it's a joke. Maybe he's hiring. Emily shook her head. "I don't even know why." The manager smiled. "You should go. What if he wants to complain? He wouldn't invite you to his office for that." Emily slipped the envelope into her purse. That night she barely slept. The next morning she borrowed her neighbor's only blazer. She left Noah with her sister. Then rode 2 buses across the city. The headquarters of Harrison Technologies rose 40 stories into the clouds. Emily had never seen anything like it. Marble floors, glass walls, luxury everywhere. She felt completely out of place. The receptionist smiled. "Name, Emily Carter." She handed over the envelope. The receptionist immediately stood. "Mr. Harrison is expecting you." Emily's heart raced. She was escorted to the private executive floor. Huge wooden doors slowly opened. Daniel Harrison stood beside floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. He smiled for the first time. You came. Emily nodded nervously. You asked me to. He gestured toward a chair. Please sit. She sat carefully. I don't understand. Daniel folded his hands. Last night, you thought I left you no tip. Emily looked embarrassed. I wasn't angry. I know. I've worked with thousands of people. Most become kind only when someone important is watching. You didn't know who I was. You treated me exactly the same as every other customer. Emily quietly replied. That's my job. Daniel smiled. No, that's your character. He opened a file. Inside were photographs. Emily gasped. One picture showed her carrying groceries for an elderly neighbor. Another showed her reading books to children at the public library. Another showed her helping a homeless veteran during winter. Her voice trembled. How? Daniel answered softly. I've been looking for someone. Not another executive. Not another millionaire. Someone honest. Emily couldn't believe what she was hearing. Daniel slid one final document across the desk. At the top it read. Personal Family Foundation Director. Annual salary. $350,000. Emily stared at the page, unable to breathe. She looked back at Daniel, convinced there had to be some mistake. This can't be for me. Daniel met her eyes and said quietly, it is, if you're willing to prove that kindness is more valuable than wealth.